and welcome. I'm Oluma Baina, and this is our special edition. Today we are going to discuss on current issue with Dr. Nabiyu Gassasa from UK. Stay tuned. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Nabiyu, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Oluma, for having me in this program.
Well, and let me start with this question. Nowadays, the Horn of Africa is considered as, or it is becoming a very important geopolitics in this Horn. And do you share this?
Yes, of course, it is the Horn of Africa is geopolitically very important for world socio-economic relations and the trade routes. Historically, where it is a beginning of mankind, as scientists proved it, and all the ancient religions where it started, and Ethiopia is the pivotal in the Horn of Africa, with 120 million population, vast natural resources, of course lacking open to the seas. So, but especially very important also in the African Union and the United Nations also. So Ethiopia is in this geopolitics. We are close to the Arab world, the Israelis, the whole Chinese and American trade. So it is very important area.
And as you know, several countries have military base in Djibouti, and some of them are recently joining this military base. And why do you think the superpowers are choosing this area, this Horn of Africa area? Why they are doing so?
Yeah, of course, it is above all, it is about their interest, and every country works for his interest. So the peace and security in that area, paramount important. It's a flow of major economic in the trade transporting, and the world giant oil producers are located here. So, and most of them have got opposing ideologies, where the West or the East will be affected. And if you support one group, the other group will be supported by your opponents. Therefore, this is very important place historically, and this is for peace and security. And one thing very important is the superpowers who are dwelling in this small place. They live in harmony together also. Today I was observing this. They are working, living, trading with one another in billions of dollars, while keeping their interest and mutually respecting one another also. These superpowers are right under the nose of Ethiopia, the biggest nation in Africa, maybe second to Nigeria, and very situated very proximity near this place. So Ethiopia's concern is understandable, and the superpowers base is also understandable, because they want to make sure that their allies are safe and peace and security is protected that place, and the world economy and their economy is functioning the way they wanted it. Therefore, it is planned and it is here to stay. And Ethiopia and the rest of the whole country have to play accordingly.
Since coming to power, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed, has been striving to strengthen unity of the entire Horn. And some political analysts claim that this put the country Ethiopia under pressure of the West. Why do you think united Africa, united Horn of Africa is always a threat for the West powers or for the global powers?
This is very important. By the way, Africa is one of richest continent in this world, and the population is so growing. There is a demand for merchants, goods, mechanization, all sorts of produces from the Europeans, from the Chinese, from the Japanese. Therefore, Africa's gateway is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is politically, historically very important. Don't forget that Ethiopia is the one who fought colonialism, trained Mandela, freed most of African colonized countries. Therefore, it was old then. When Ethiopia was doing that one, it was old then. But through time, even the Europeans, the Americans, considered Ethiopia a free country that is living for freedom of mankind and for all races, equitable use of natural resources and cooperation. Therefore, competition for Africa in a good way for markets is always there. Ethiopia should compete also. America should, Japan, China, Russia, in the Europe also. But it has to be within the framework of the African Union and the international laws. Therefore, coming to Prime Minister Dr. Abiy, who is happened to be from my own ethnic background, a majority in our country, has done great things for unifying the country, bringing the whole together, because it's a fluid border we have, the same people on both borders, north, south, east, west. If you see, we share everything, every culture, blood, ethnics are all the same, livestock, natural resource. Therefore, unless you harmonize this, Ethiopia can't develop. Ethiopia is not going to be, I don't think Ethiopia is going to be, is going to be a totalitarian country. It's not that way. It is about growing, developing together. Therefore, especially what the Prime Minister did in the environmental protection should be upheld now is really underestimated. He did this green revolution in reality to protect the environment, which is very important for the whole world. And he has been awarded the Peace Nobel also for doing this, for bringing the countries together. And the country should be governed by the rule of law. Therefore, it is about African interest. Ethiopia is not a pariah state or just wanting to dominate everybody. I don't think that is historically it is not like that. Ethiopia is trying to help African brothers and sisters who are struggling to feed themselves and to develop their infrastructure. It's not to dominate someone or become some sort of monster. It's not like that. It shouldn't be seen that way also.
Mm-hmm. Well, and let me forward this question again, Doctor. Many claims are coming out that Ethiopia is getting a good example in resisting this, superpowers, the Western superpowers, or sometimes people or political analysts call imperialists. And recently, a Ugandan journalist whose name is Daniel Lutaya wrote like this: Ethiopia is fighting African war. Do you think that Ethiopia is fighting African war? And if it is so, what should both continental and regional organizations such as IGAD and African Union or AU should play?
Thank you for this question. The journalist says from Uganda, what he said is right, but what are Africans doing? He should ask also, not saying that it's not enough to say Ethiopia is doing that. What are the African Union doing? All the rest of 50 nations or plus. If it is their war, if it is their, I don't call it war, if it is about using their natural resources, their human resources, and their freedom, they have to stand together to make to bring peace into the country also, which I believe they are going to do. It's not only blaming and telling that, oh, Ethiopia is doing, no. We are African. We helped Africans practically from King Haile Selassie, from Mengistu during liberation of Zimbabwe, Haile Selassie during liberation of South Africa, helping Mandela. So we have got the value. Ethiopia has got human value, international laws. It's not only enough for African journalists to write down and say that, oh, it's your war. No, or you are fighting our war. If it is their war, they have to join. I'm sure they are going to join that one in a peaceful manner. We have to do it, and they are doing that one also. Because Prime Minister Abiy's main goal is to end up this internal fighting, to bring one unified, developed country. I think the party, the parliament is working on that one, which is good. Regarding the superpowers, we should. I differ. we don't always regard the superpowers are against us. If we say like that, scaremongering always, it's not right. They are there also to support us. Historically, we have seen when we fought the fascism, the United Kingdom, under the leadership of Prime Minister Churchill, stood with Ethiopia. Remember Alula Pankhurst, Richard Pankhurst, who stood with us. Therefore, the Ethiopian population should understand it. It's not everybody outside Ethiopia is against Ethiopia. There are many countries who understand what Ethiopia is trying to do to feed itself, to use these natural resources. Therefore, the superpowers are asking, some of them are asking questions. We have to answer. We ask them also, how can we do it? Don't meddle with it, with our own business. Help us to achieve that. We want to negotiate. We want to sit down. We are brothers and sisters. We can talk to each other because we understand one another. You know, conflicts are temporary. It will pass. It has been in the past. What is important for you, what's beneficial for us is to sit down, negotiate, win-win situation, build your country, infrastructure, the hunger going on, the famine, the diseases. This is the only enemy we have. The superpowers are not our enemy. They are not Ethiopia's enemy. They ask questions. We can answer what Ethiopia can answer. Of course, I'm a foreigner now. Ethiopia can answer what it can. It shouldn't answer what it can't do. For example, losing integrity, sovereignty, can't give up because it is going to be difficult for the whole world. Ethiopia has got 87 nationalities that can speak their own, language, culture. We can't make 87 states in Africa in a single day or add to the United Nations. These people are free country in the world, the only black nation free from beginning of the history, and they are governing themselves. And Prime Minister Abiy and the Parliament, I think what I advise them is help these people to govern themselves, each province, towards the goal of development. Therefore, the superpowers are asking questions. I wouldn't say they are not fighting us. If they fight us, imagine what will happen. Ethiopia is a democratic country. Ethiopia held elections every 5 years. We share more common issues with the democratic West. Therefore, they should be our ally. Ethiopia is ancient country, will prevail. Together, 120 million people can make a difference for Africa. Africans also should support Ethiopia. It's not only saying, they have to practically come. As they come to Addis, they have to come and help Ethiopia, politically, diplomatically.
Well, and you know that many Ethiopian diaspora are exiled because of TPLF pressure. Do you think that the diaspora community, Ethiopian diaspora community, most of them exiled due to TPLF's pressure when it was in the central power? Do you think all diaspora communities are equally resisting, fighting, condemning these TPLF conspiracies today? I don't know whether you are exiled because of TPLF or not, Doctor.
Tigrayans are in the people, and there are other people also in the TPLF, even the Amharas, and I think there are Oromos also who are members of the TPLF earlier. When they were governing together, there was opposition between them, between the PRDF. There was a discomfort, which made, for example, the Kalahin Fishfish, they call it. During the Kalahin Fishfish, or second problem in the TPLF, it spilled over to Opidio, which I was supporting. We didn't know anything. We just suffered. We represented our people there, especially I was in the Budget Affairs Standing Committee. For a reason we don't know, after Bademme War, we were all purged. It's not only the TPLF who were persecuting us, it is our Oromo brothers who were persecuting us, who were just looking for our positions. They can't represent us because we are qualified to do this job, and the people elected us to do this job. So the TPLF is not doing by its own. He is doing with other groups also. We know this. Now the TPLF is no more in power. They went to Tigray. When they went to Tigray,
and many African scholars are, claiming for the need to immediate revival of Pan-Africanism. so as to stand the pressure, the Western pressure that is imposed on the continent, particularly in Ethiopia. And do you feel this will work?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I believe in this, and I'm a fan of Haile Selassie, Nkrumah, and Jomo Kenyatta, and all of them are founding fathers of African Union. We are Africans, by the way. We are a country, by the way. I believe in that. Therefore, if Pan-Africanism is that Africa will use its own resource, it will not be divided. That doesn't mean that we close our doors to everybody. We need technology. We need a democratic process and support, for example, from the US, which we did so far mention, and UK. And the technology transfer and all communication of trades. We need their product, they need our produce also. But we have to make our ground stand together. Africanism, Pan-Africanism, which is started by our forefathers, should continue and should be realized and should act now.
Prominent political analysts like Lawrence Freeman from USA, they are claiming that US recently voiced, unfair pressure. It is, imposing in Ethiopia may end the relevance in Africa. The relation between US and the continent entirely. Do you think this will happen, or it is happening?
I would say no. I do like to differ, because conflicts are temporary. They come and they go. Disagreements, then agreements. America is a free country, a free world. Don't forget that outside Ethiopia, #1 country, Ethiopians are very important in socio-economic and political process of the United States of America. Recently, you have seen the news. Second, maybe it's United Kingdom or Israel, where Ethiopians are residing. Therefore, we are also partly our population are Americans also, or the West. Here we are. I'm a Brit, for example, born Ethiopian. I'm a British citizen. Still, I know about my country. My relatives are over there. You guys are over there. Therefore, America shouldn't lose a touch and support and development with Africa. America is a free country, highly developed. We need to follow so many things: technology, democratic processes, peace and security also. And with the West, with the East also, we need. Now they are developing how infrastructure is being developed, soft loans, all this we need. America is the greatest donor to the United Nations, different organizations of the United Nations, to the health, to the agriculture, policy, all those things. So Africa should benefit from that one, and Ethiopia is one of the beneficiaries. We should maintain our long-standing diplomacy and brotherly, sisterly relation between the two countries. Temporarily, and current issues should be resolved and can be resolved. The Foreign Office, I know they have got disagreements with the Ethiopian government, but still in politics there is no long life animosity. They should agree. It's all about the interest. We can mutually benefit one another. They want Africa, they want Ethiopia also special. Ethiopia is very important. Highly natural resources, highly available, abundant. Africa is also like that. And we need, Africa needs America or the West and EU. Don't forget European Union. For example, where I was born, there is a coffee development. Throughout my childhood, I see how they helped us to develop quality coffee that we export, Ethiopia export. Such support and help still we need. We don't totally depend on them. I'm not saying that one, but still the world is globalized and we need each other. Look, the Arab and Israeli, what they call it, the Abrahamic Accord is coming. We are right in front of them at their doorstep. We can't isolate ourselves. We can't isolate ourselves from the superpowers, whether it is the East or the West. And we have friends to the East and to the West. So communists to the imperialists, to the Arab, to the Jews, to the Africans, of course. Though we have land issues, land tenure issues in Ethiopia, we have to maintain this. We have to maintain this. And I think the Prime Minister Abiy will listen, and he has a lot of friends in the West, and things should be rectified. And America should not lose African relations. We can't sell Africa to another. We have to use all of them. They all benefit for Africa in their own respect. And the United States and the West are also very important. This is reality. It's not about blaming the external power or blaming Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government is elected government led by its own parliament, sovereign, the people of Ethiopia, 120 million is there.
You know, let's talk about the USA and China relation, economical competition in Ethiopia. How do you see the competition of two superpowers, economically superpower countries?
This is very important because our globe is becoming one world and they are all competing for market and for resources. Undoubtedly, China is emerging as a superpower economically also. But don't underestimate that Americans' natural resources not even touched. I've visited America twice. It's still vast majority of it's a continent, and they are technologically advanced. They are democratic country. Don't forget that also, and they are free nation where outside Ethiopia, more Ethiopians live. China is also a very important partner in African development infrastructure. So we have to use, as I mentioned, during the King time, we are friends with everybody. So with Russia, with Mao. Imagine Mao is a communist leader. And Kennedy, democratically elected, and UK, France, all of them, Germany, all our friends, and the Arab world also. Therefore, we have to make advantage from China, from the USA. They are all Ethiopian friends, as far as I understand. It's not the way we see it now. Things will improve, should improve. Ethiopian, Atodemeke, and his respected Prime Minister Abiy has to revise the foreign department and their diplomatic missions, and capable people who should sit there and work for the benefit of Ethiopia and bilateral relations.
Dr. Nabiu Gassasa from UK, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lumu. Thank you.
Dear viewers of Ethiopian Horn of Africa, this brings us to the end of this edition. Till next edition, goodbye.